Congaree National Park is situated on the coastal floodplain in South Carolina. This is one of the least visited national parks across the entire country, which I don't know why, because it's in South Carolina and it's only like an hour and a half or so from the coast. But the Congaree River is found in a floodplain. This park in South Carolina boasts old growth, hardwood trees. There's a floodplain and uplands, and they're steeped in folk tales, ghost stories, and lots of memories. Ancient trees have witnessed war, slavery. This area was a very, very important route when it came to the Underground Railroad because of the harsh topographical setting. It would be much easier to hide and harder for horses to traverse these uplands in this coastal plain. This park's defining tree is the bald cypress. It has a broad base and a super complex root system that holds steady during the multiple floods in this area because it's on a floodplain. Remember, it's on a floodplain, so the vegetation in this area has to withstand being covered with water from one portion of the time and exposed the other portion of the time. They consider bald cypresses to be champion trees, the largest of their kind in the state, even in the nation. The park has numerous champion trees like pawpaw, loblolly pine, which is found in a very close relationship with the bald cypress, as well as sweet gum. This national park has installed a very accessible boardwalk system so that people of all abilities can take walks through the park without many problems. On the landscape, you'll see the remnants of an old still that was a relic of the Prohibition era. Because this swamp is very hard to traverse, like I said, with horses, and slaves would hide here and even create colonies, like escaped slave colonies. It would be easier for people to hide in this topography that is really complex. It is not uncommon to find things like turtles here because it's at a much different latitude and at a coastal plain. So you know that this area is controlled or moderated by the coastal influence of the Gulf Stream. I'm recording audio. Here's the physical evidence for the still I was speaking about during the Prohibition era. Another interesting fact about this park is that it's absolutely fed by fire. If you think about the species that require fire to germinate, you'd probably be really surprised. Sequoia National Park is an example of species that need fire in order to germinate, and their bark is relatively resistant to burning, but they are absolutely fed by fire. In the park's uplands, fire, not flood, brings back a rare forest. Trees in this park depend on fire. Today, the park uses fire as a managed resource in order to help germinate the forests. Rare animals during this time, like the red-cockaded woodpecker, may return along with other rare plants. Regular fires help so that the invasive species do not take over. I hope you enjoyed this trip to Congaree National Park. I think you should go yourself sometime as well. It's also been a pleasure having you this semester.
Wow, look at all of them.